So once again, we've got a pivot table created. We've summarized data. All of this data is based on the sales data worksheet, those 400 plus records. Now that we've got a pivot table and we're summarizing all that data, there's going to come times when I don't want to see all the data. I just want to see specific records being summarized here. Well, within Excel pivot tables, we have a few different ways to filter the results of a pivot table. Take a look. I'm going to show off two of the options right here during this lecture, and then in the next lecture, I'm going to show off a relatively newer tool that was introduced in the 2010 edition and carried forward into the later releases. So take a look. This is how you filter a pivot table. 1. If I click into my pivot table, I can see that I've got my row labels and column labels. Row labels being the different products, the types, column labels being, in my case, the salespeople. Now, right next door to the column labels and row labels, I've got some drop-down arrows. And if I give that a click, I can jump into here just like you do a regular filter inside of a regular old Excel list, and I could do things like, you know what? I just want to see frozen yogurt and popsicles. I'll grab those two, I'll hit OK, and that's all I'll get. Simple little filter. And look at that, my chart updated as well. I've now just got frozen yogurt and popsicles. Very nice. You know what? I don't want to see all the salespeople. So same thing, I could jump into here and say, I just want to see Bishop and Lee. That's it. And I've now filtered the results of my pivot table just through the column and row labels. And once again, my chart is updated. Now this is one method. Okay, so if you're familiar with running filters like we did back in an earlier section of this lecture, it's very similar here inside of your pivot tables. Now you do have another option. Row labels and column labels, those are both parts of my pivot table right now. Well, pivot tables also have a filter section. Let's say I grab the month. I'll grab month, drag that down into filters, and now my pivot table has an additional element where I can now filter by the month. So you know what? I just want to see April. That's it. I'll select April, I'll hit OK, and now I've just got the April numbers here. And once again, my chart is updated. Jump back up there, I want to see March. And there's my March day. Ooh, got nothing for March. So those two people, whoever they were, we didn't sell anything during March. So let's get back up there and I'll say, let's do January. Then I've got some data for Bishop and Lee for frozen yogurt. Ding! Really simple to do. Nice little filters. You got the little drop downs you can get to, or you can get into the filter section of a pivot table and filter through here as well. Whatever operation. Both very similar in technique, just little drop downs. Again, very similar to the auto filter inside of Excel. You're just filtering the results of your pivot table. So once again, try this out. Build yourself a quick little pivot table. Use the one from the previous lecture, whatever it is. Apply your filters. Search for those specific records. Drop down arrows. Select what you're looking for, whether it's product or salesperson or different months, whatever it is. Try it out.